Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another Wednesday. It is almost time. Well, it is time. I'm actually ooh, okay. I'm actually hopped up on pre-workout, so I'm actually not tired today. That don't mean I'm not gonna crash when I get out of here, but I'm not tired today. Yeah. It's Wednesday. Wednesday. Give y'all a little bit of time to get in here. Oh, I just moved the bone on my knee, and I definitely should not have done that. Yeah, I hope everybody's safe. Big swath of storms came in and tore up some cities, and it wasn't too bad here. We've definitely had worse. I'm glad it was just snow. That was awesome. If it was gonna be ice, that was gonna be terrible. I was watching some where some trees were bursting from like ice storms. That was crazy. I didn't even know trees could do that. But ice is way worse. So we just had some snow. It's not bad. The roads um, today were a lot better. So, but then I heard there's supposed to be more storms coming in. So, make sure y'all safe. If you can get out this week to get a couple more things. I know everybody was saying their first snacks was gone first day. Y'all out there eating them snacks up. But yeah, make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you take care of your family. Check in with your folk. A lot of crazy stuff going on in the world too. So make sure you checking in with your people. Make sure you know what your neighbors are doing and watching out for the community, the community that you live in, and the community that you are, currently residing in. Um, just make sure we're watching out for each other. There's a lot of stuff going on right now, so we need to make sure that at least on an individual level that we are standing in the gap for each other. So I've been watching out my window. If I see anybody, I'm telling everybody. So just make sure you're standing in community for the people around you, right? So it's Wednesday, which means it's Ask Coach Catasha. And we got some good questions this week. I realize that, we rarely ever get any questions in the chat. But in all of my years of doing this, it's kind of always like that. Like I don't know, I've been doing this for a while now, at least a decade. And I just realized like day before yesterday, I have zero Google reviews. I have zero Google reviews. Now I have reviews, but I have zero Google reviews. I'm like, all these people I want to talk to, nobody thought that I did a good enough job. But to do a Google review means you have to go tell people your business, and that's why people don't do it. So I don't take it personally. But I'm still glad that you do ask privately, even if you don't want to ask publicly. I appreciate that you still ask quietly because I want you to know. So however you have to ask is the best way to ask. I like to give you multiple ways to be able to, formulate the question, figure out what it is, and how you want to present it. But at the end of the day, the goal is to make sure that you get the information. So, please keep sending them. If you have questions, you can send them to the website expressionofrepression.com, or you can email me at expressionofrepression@gmail.com, or you can send those questions to any of my social medias. You can search Coach Catasha and I should pop up wherever you are. So you feel free to send those to any of those social media inboxes, whatever, and I'll bring it back to the chat on your behalf. That way you don't have to people don't have to be in your business. I totally get that. So, but we do have some pretty good questions. I was excited about that. Hold on, these are from, I didn't even check today, of course. And yes, I've also still been sitting here this whole time. Uh, okay, let me check real quick. I deleted my social medias because I need a break. It's too much going on. So if you sent it in there, give me a second. I'm gonna log in on my business accounts. But I definitely won't be on those. So, oh nope, I don't have anything on the website. Not anything new. Do 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 do. Okay, let's check in here. I don't think I just checked yesterday in my other stuff or day before yesterday, so I don't think it's anything in there. It might be though. I just had to like cut it off. It was like a TV. I had to like cut it off. It's too much. It's too much going on, and I got too much to do. Too much to do, and I have not been like meeting the goals I've been set for myself, and so I was like, okay, we need to lock in. My ADHD, all 80 of them, is booming and bunking, but we get it done. But I just got to relock in. I got to refocus, and so that's what we're doing right now. Feeling pretty good about it. Overall, like for it to still be January, to be the end of January, like I'm still going strong. So, um, yeah, I'm feeling really good about it. Definitely had to get offline though, cause ooh, child. Um, but yeah, so let's get into our questions for the day. So first of all, let's talk about the rules of engagement. If you have a question, feel free to leave that question in the chat. If you need clarification about something that I'm discussing, or if I'm not like if I'm leaving something out or you're not understanding, please hop in and just ask. I'll be happy to clarify for you. If you do have any questions or it makes you think of something else, you can drop that in the chat. I will pull it right out of the chat and I'll answer it right here. Your questions, whatever questions you ask me, I'm going to answer back from a medical and holistic standpoint. I am not here to be judge and jury about what you're doing. That's not my job. I'm an educator. I'm here to teach. So if you have a question about something that you may feel a little bit anxious about, please don't be. You're human. You like human things, and people get off on all kinds of stuff. And I'm not here again to judge you. I want you to have the time of your life, and if that's what it entails, that's what it entails. So please feel free to ask. But whatever program you're watching this on, whatever I say program, it made me feel so old when I say that. Whatever program you're watching it on, whatever app you're watching this on, there may be built-in moderations for that app, and so there are different words and phrases that may not pop up when you type them in the chat because of that. So if you don't see me answer or acknowledge your question, that means that I cannot see it. It did not show up for me. I don't know why I keep hitting it. Maybe because I'm over here moving on. But it's not coming up in the chat. I didn't get to see it, and usually the systems are moderating it out, and so I didn't see it. Try to ask the question again. Leave out the hot words. I'm really good with my context clues, so I'll be able to likely figure out what it is you're talking about. So, but again, the space is open for you to ask. That's what we're here for. That is the whole reason that this is up here and that I had to fight to be able to bring you this is because I want you to have a place to come and do this. So, question number one. So this one's kind of long. I'm just gonna put the end question in the chat. But the question read, I have deconstructed a great bit of my life recently, and coming from a deeply religious background, some harmful things were taught to me, especially surrounding my body. Self pleasure is not something that is encouraged, especially not for women. There is an immense amount of guilt, which makes pleasure almost impossible if I can convince myself to do it. How do I rewire my brain to invite pleasure without the shame after deep religious trauma? Is that a possibility? Okay, and I'm going to just drop that last part in the chat so that you can see the question. Okay, whew, all right, so that's a lot. But number one, top of the line list you need to do, go to therapy. Baby, get you a therapist. Go talk to that lady. Go sit down and talk to that lady, okay? If you are experiencing issues from your religious background or any kind of trauma that is bleeding over into your sexual life, it is likely also affecting other parts of your life. Okay. So it's best to just go ahead and go and sit down with get on that lady couch and sit and talk to them and see if they can help you build the processes to get over that, right? Because a lot of the things that come with that type of trauma are deeply, deeply ingrained because you learn them at such an early age. And so you are going to have to rewire your brain. Yes, it is possible, baby. It's going to be hard, okay? It's going to be hard, and that's why you need resources and backup. Just like any other hard thing that you would be doing, you're going to need a team of people to help you accomplish it. You're going to need to be in your right mind frame. You're going to need all the help and support that you can get, and that is absolutely the number one thing you need to do is get a therapist. Now, if you already have one, fantastic. Some people still struggle with talking to their therapist about sexual issues, okay? I'm not saying that's you, but I'm just saying, let's just talk about the elephant in the room, okay? Your sexual health is just as important as your mental health, is just as important as your physical health, and they are all linked, okay? I know people talk about your emotional health, they talk about your spiritual health, they talk about your physical health, they hardly ever talk about your sexual health, but it is all linked. If you have a kink in your sexual health, you are likely going to experience a lower quality of life. You're going to be at a higher risk of depression, all kinds of things, okay? So with it all being interlinked, you have to look at it as a holistic healing that you have to do. And again, that is going to be difficult. You are going to be healing your body and healing your mind, but you have to start with your mind, okay? And with that, that's going to be a therapist helping you build the processes to figure out how to overcome what's happened, sharing. And again, the therapist is not there to fix what's wrong with you. They're just there to help you figure out processes and ways to address holes you might be missing, behaviors that you might be exhibiting that you have not realized or are outside of yourself, or and help you build the processes on how to overcome these things that have happened in your past, okay? And they have years of experience with talking to years of clients on different things that have worked, have not worked, studies, all that. They go to school for a really long time. And that's what they're for. They're there to help you sort through the mess of your trauma and figure out what's yours, what's something that was picked up later, and how do we manage what's left, okay? So therapy is going to be a great way for you to start to build those processes. Once you understand that, it is going to have to be a reconnection to your body. Once we get past that part of the brain, you are going to have to see someone about reconnecting with the body. Now, that looks really different for a lot of people. It is not a foreign concept. It's not a foreign concept. If you ever heard of Stella got her groove back, that is a picture perfect scene of someone trying to reconnect with their bodies and reconnect with themselves, okay? Those kind of stories, people go through a lot of different ways to do that, okay? I can't say what's going to work for you or not going to work for you. You should also talk to your therapist about that. But that's going to be your process. You are going to have to find how to connect to your body once you get once you get all of your files in order, okay? I like to think of the mind as a big computer with people like like on Osmosis Jones. Everybody was just in there doing their little job, and they had little cops and white blood cells, and that's how I think that's what it's in there. That's what's happening in there. And so you just got to give it what it needs, okay? And they'll be able to help you sort through those files, go in, put this over here, this over there, learn how to move past different types of things. And even that process is very difficult because finding a good therapist can be hard. Finding a therapist is like finding a barber or finding a beautician or finding a partner. It's not easy. And everyone you come across, just because they are a boy or are a girl or are a therapist, does not mean that they're the right therapist for you, right? And so even finding the therapist can be hard, but the process, you have to do that, okay? You have to do that, and you're just going to have to keep doing it. And I know that to say that is crazy, but the time is going to pass, and you're either going to wear yourself out and wear yourself down trying to self-manage, or you can, manage with a bunch of different people till you find the one you want. But the time is going to pass regardless. You can either do the damage to yourself, or you can be working toward fixing it. So that's what you have to keep telling yourself, that This process is going to be worth it in the end. Once you do find that therapist that you connect with, and you'll be able to have those conversations freely, make sure you're including your sexual health in those conversations. Now, your therapist is not going to discuss, what you need to be doing and, how many times and all that. That's not their job, right? That reconnection to the body part is going to be someone that's going to be outside of that. And again, though, what that looks like, it looks different for a lot of different people. It can mean, somatic exercises. It can mean you going on a journey of abstinence. It could mean you becoming hypersexual if you never had to experience that. It could be you, taking some risks and, doing things that are a little bit out of your character. All of those type of things are ways that people move to try to reconnect with their bodies. And so it could be dance. It could be something that's not sexual at all, to learn how to invite pleasure back into your life. Many religions mm, Many religions limit pleasure as a form of sacrifice for the higher cause. Okay. So, you can only have this type of ice cream. You can only wear these type of clothes. You can only, wear this. You can only eat this. You can only drink on these days. You can only wear these types of clothes. And so there's all of these um, restrictions that teach you that to enjoy things is how people fall into sin, right? But it doesn't it doesn't account for the damage left behind when you make that the focus. And a lot of people learn in religion that their bodies are not theirs. That, you just that, like you said, it was not self pleasure was not something that you felt you were allowed to do, or that was encouraged for, and it's that way for a lot of young girls and young women. When you think about self pleasure, it's something that young boys and young men are expected to do, right? That it is an expectation that they're going to do that, and it's just something you're going to have to deal with. But the idea of self pleasure with a daughter is just like, oh, what? I need to do what? Yes. The expectations need to remain the same. They need to remain the same. So the it is going to be a very difficult period to unlearn what you have learned. But when you get to the other side, your life is going to change. I can guarantee you that. I can guarantee you that. Once you get to the other side, baby, the grass is real green. Real green. Okay. Real green. So definitely keep doing the work. You said you've deconstructed parts of your life already. Super happy for you. Very, very proud to be a part of the process, you sharing it with me. And I hope that there is more to come for you. And look forward to hearing, like, y'all can write me back and like tell me stuff like, girl, let me see what I did. I definitely want to hear it. So, but yeah, the journey is about to get spicy, but it's gonna be you figuring out figuring out your files, figuring out how to get everything sorted out in your brain, and then going on a journey to reconnect with your body. And that's going to be figuring out what is pleasurable to you, resetting your dopamine system on things that we like and things that we don't like, and being able to have genuine input in that without those other labels and those other outside influences telling you like you like it, but you're not supposed to like it, and you're going to be damned if you like it. So maybe you shouldn't like that. You know what I mean? It's that guilt that comes along with that. So once you can get past that part and get the reconnection to your mind and the reconnection to your body, get your file sorted out, baby, the sky is the limit. You're going to have a good time. You're going to have a really, really good time. I'm excited for you. So thank you for the question. Appreciate you. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave your questions in the chat. I will be happy to answer them. The next question. Can you get an STD from your butt? I know I'm not supposed to be laughing, but you just know that somebody who's not 18 or older. You know what? I don't know that. I don't know that. That could be a grown adult. Um, yes, absolutely. You can absolutely 1000% get an STD from a butt or from your butt. Okay, so let's talk about what that means. Okay, so you can get a sexually transmitted disease from any kind of bodily fluid contact. It usually happens during sexual activity, but sexual activity is an expansive term, right? So it's not just PIV, if you get my drift. It is, you know, PI, a lot of places. Up against the leg. You can get it in your eye. You can get an STD in your eye. Yeah. So you can get um you can get a sexually transmitted infection from any type of bodily fluid contact. And if you are having bodily fluid contact with a butt, then yes, you can. In a lot of cases, depending on the type of contact we're talking about it, you may be at an increased risk of getting a sexually transmitted infection from a butt because a butt is not prepared for that type of activity. Okay. Now let's go one subtask down. Um, the the vagina is very acidic, right? And the um, sperm is very alkaline. Okay. Now the vagina is very acidic to keep the. Do I have those backwards? I think I have those right. I'm pretty sure I have those right. They might be backwards. I think I have it right. But it was pretty acidic. And that's what keeps the bacteria at bay. And there's a whole army of bacteria in there that are standing on guard. They're fighting for their space to keep just the people that's here. This is all the people we want. We're not taking no stragglers. We're not taking no extra multiplications of stuff. Like, this is the number that we have, and this is how we're keeping it going, right? That's the body continuously trying to keep itself in homeostasis, in that perfect little bubble of, microorganisms that live in the vaginal canal. Or yeah, in the vaginal canal. Sometimes the vaginal canal can eliminate certain types of infections. Now, whoa, that does not mean that you don't need to use protections. It just means that the body is supposed to be able to fight off infections. That's one of the things it does. You get sick, it fights off infections. The vagina also has a function of that, but 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 it is not prepared for what we got going on out here. Okay, it's just not. It is just not. And so it is. You need to be wearing protection. Any type of sexual activity, any type of bacteria, any kind of activity back there. I was struggling with that one, but yeah, like you can absolutely get gonorrhea, not gonorrhea. You can get chlamydia back there. Let me look that up. I'm pretty sure that's true though. Hold on. I don't know what the um I don't know what the name for crabs is, but I know you can get that trick or something. Um I'm really bad at remembering the names of STDs. I'm not. It's like cars. Like, I'm really bad. Oh, it does say gonorrhea. Um, chlamydia, syphilis, herpes, of course, HIV, and the human papillomavirus virus. Um, so yes, tenesmus. What's that? I have to look that up. from 2014 though. That's a good little ways away. But we gotta take what we can get. It's a study by the NIH, but it's like you never know. We got new stuff out now. Whatever was out in 2014, we probably got a whole new stuff out now. So yes, you absolutely can get a sexually transmitted infection from doing butt stuff. You can get it sexually transmitted from doing oral stuff. You can get, yeah. So it's just best to make sure that you don't carry any sexually transmitted infections, and the best way to do that is to make sure that you are using barrier contraceptives. Now, some sexually transmitted infections don't um, care about your condom. Okay, like something like herpes doesn't care about your condom. If it is anywhere around the genital area, and even if it's on the thigh or on the mons pubis or anything like that, if it is present, if the cells are present, it can be spread. And so it's just, again, you just need to know your status. You need to be taking the necessary precautions for your flares and your outbreaks and things like that. Just making sure sex is still possible, but you need to make sure that you're being safe and that you are not putting others at risk. So, and there's ways to not have to do that, right? Okay. So, yes, you can get an STI from butt stuff. It's a pretty good question though. All right. We got one more. Okay, so this one says, I'm really self-conscious about my facial hair. As a PCOS girly, I have tried waxing, shaving, and the epilator. Epilator? I had to Google that. First of all, what? Yeah. No. It said something like a bunch of tweezers. What? It is all painful and the hair is annoying to have to continue to remove. Do you have any suggestions? Are all the hairy girls shaving every day? So that's a really good question. So I do know people who have PCOS, and PCOS has a whole list of symptoms, but facial hair and growing an abundance of hair is one of the symptoms of polycystic syndrome, polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS. So, yes, you will, if you see someone who has like a mustache or has like facial hair, like a beard, they likely have PCOS. Not always, but it is a lot more common than you would think. A lot of people have PCOS. As far as the hair, now there are a lot of different things you can do. I've heard, some people just do the home waxing kits. Some people do and they said that if you do the waxing more often, that it's not supposed to be as painful. I don't know about that, because I'm not a wax girly, so I don't know about that. But they said that if you do it like more often, that it doesn't hurt as much. But I don't know what that looks like for like facial hair and things like that. And it's also a really sensitive area. You can't hide the redness and having to do it more often. So, but that there are ways and different types. I do see the videos on my timeline. I am on that side of social media, so I do see the waxing videos and stuff. I didn't see don't the epilator. I hope I'm saying that right. But yeah, that is a lot, and so I don't know what they're doing. I'll be honest. Maybe people can stop by and let us know as the video circulates or whatever. What are the PCOS girlies doing about their hair? How are you managing? Are you waxing? Are you shaving? One of our people wants to know, and I don't have the answer. So, if you could leave in the chat what you're doing, whenever you do watch this, what do you do about your facial hair? I do know that there are a lot of options, but most of those options cost money, which really, really sucks. And also, depending on the type of hair that you have, it may not be feasible to, shave it every day. So, Yeah, that's a good one. As far as suggestions, you know me, I'm like, leave it alone. They don't. There are. Listen, it just depends on how much you want to be inconvenienced. But I will tell you this: there are plenty of people who love hairy people. Plenty. Okay, there are people who love. I remember seeing a show of a dude whose ex girlfriend was helping him to go find his wife because he wanted someone hairier. She wasn't hairy enough. He wanted more. So she was across the country helping him find somebody hairier. Okay, that could be your life. It could be someone looking for you in Dubai with your beard ready to love you. Okay. So I mean it just depends. I am not in any way, shape, or form downplaying the power that comes with, having to defend, leaving it as it is. I know what that's like. People shave it so they don't have to keep having the conversations. They don't have to go through the looks and, try to live out their day without watching the stares and all that. I absolutely understand that. Again, you are who you are. And if it's causing you pain, leave it as it is. I mean, it's nothing wrong with being okay with leaving it as it is. There's nothing wrong with facial hair. Like if you're that's how your body presents itself, that's how it presents itself. And if they can't get down with that, then they need to get out your way. Um, you know, we all of us have our flaws. Some of them are facial hair, some of them are, back fat, some of them are sh- shape bad, built bad. Some of them's bad, knock knees, and all kinds of things. And if you let it dim your light, you are essentially you're the one turning yourself off. If they can't handle you, so what? So what? So what? You should get the right to exist, and you should be able to do that without having to put yourself through excruciating pain. Now, I will say this: I do know at least two people who did the treatment, and they rant and rave about it. Rant and rave, love it, cannot get enough of it. So, but I do know it's a coin. I know that is a coin. So, oh, sorry, it's like itching, like down into my sinus cavity too. Mhm. But the people who have done that, I do know two people who have done that, and they wish they had done it sooner. So if you can save up and move toward that, you just pay pay them little ducats, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. Um, that would probably be what I would say. Again, I'm not here for causing yourself pain. It's not necessary. It's not necessary. I stopped getting the shots in my back because it was hurting. I was like, I'm not, baby, no. If it's gonna hurt to do it, no, I'm cool. I'm all right. And it's just gonna hurt every time too. No. Nope. I just let that thing go, put a ponytail hold on it, go on about our business. Um, but yeah, I never put the question in there. Sorry. I do want y'all to be able to see it. It's highlighted, but I never picked it up. But I do think that's a good question, and I'll cut that little piece. That's not what I meant to do. I'll cut that little piece and make a clip out of it, and we'll see what the people say. How are they managing the facial hair? Like, what are they doing with it? I know I love. I don't have a lot though, so it's not. But I think I found a new one today. Yeah, we got one right here. We're gonna get to. I love picking at me, my little facial hair, baby. Let me get. Let me get in there. So I don't care nothing about her hair. My underarm right now, baby. I could probably have a whole new set of locks. I don't think I shaved since the summer. Did I shave for Halloween? I might have shaved for Halloween. Yeah, I might have shaved for Halloween. Nared it up. But that's it. Yep. So it's a good little. I got some BBs under there, and they gonna be there until shirts until the sleeveless shirts come back in, and might still be there a little bit longer after that. um, okay. Oh no. So they must have took it out. That's why it's not showing up. I did put it in there, but I don't know why they won't let me post it. It's not a raggedy question, or it doesn't have any bad words in there. I wonder why it's doing that. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it don't like that question. Sorry. I was trying to put it in there. I probably did put it in there the first time. It just didn't work. Anyway, those are all the questions we have for today. We may have an update. I did get like a little update on something that we were talking about before, but it's not complete, so we won't bring it up. But we did. I guess I was locked in the house. I was busy. I like that. So what do we got coming up? Okay, so I'm kind of in a weird space with my Patreon because I feel like I'm moving back towards somewhere that I didn't want to be. So rethinking that, um, rethinking like what I'm gonna do with that in that platform and like how I'm going to get by with that. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not. I don't know. It needs some work. I need to do some more work on it. I thought it would be easier to get up, but it's not as easy as I thought it was going to be. So we're gonna rethink that. I'm on a little hiatus right now, so I'm not on any online or anything. Um, I'm locked in, trying to reset and get myself together, get my habits in order, so that I can start moving through my days easily, more seamlessly. That's what I'm trying to do. Build some good habits so I can get everything that I want to get done in a day done. Right now, I'm not doing that, and I don't like the way that feels. So, um, reprioritizing for the new year. I love a good reason to start over, do a little reset. So that's what I'm using it for. And so far so good. I hope yours is going pretty good too. We will be back here next Wednesday. So we were supposed to be starting sex ed with Coach Catasha on February the 2nd, but we are not. We are not. And I'll talk about that. Because we were going to start with a class, but I want to do something else. So that's not what we're going to be doing. I'm going to be doing a healthy relationship for kids and teens. That's what I want to do. That's what I'm feeling. I'm tired of doing classes without. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm tired about it. Tired of doing it, but I have other ideas that I want to work on. I always seem to just, excuse me, keep gravitating back to the same ideas. I need to stretch. So I want to do a little bit of stretching. Going to the library, doing some research, getting some stuff done. So it probably won't be until March. Probably won't be until March, middle of March, that we'll be getting started. But I'll have some other stuff coming up in March too, some classes and stuff that you need to be ready for. So I will keep y'all in the loop. Um, if you have any questions or any suggestions, please feel free to email me at expressionofrepression@gmail.com. You can also reach me on my website at expressionofrepression.com. You can find me on any of my social medias. Let me put my link tree um, in so you can find it um, where I am. You can also watch all of my I don't need the top hits. I need all. It's always so hard to do, but I'll be the one in here messing up because I look for stuff and then I'm in here and I opened up this and no, these are not all my notes. there you are. Blonde. Here we go. Just as blonde as all outdoors. Okay, there's my link tree, and you can find all of my social medias everywhere wherever you are. You can find me on there and follow me. Let's be friends. But you can send me your question. I'll be happy to answer them, bring them back to the chat on your behalf, and we can talk to them publicly. Whatever questions you may have is likely someone else has it too. They're just a little bit shyer than you. So thank you for being brave and asking your question on behalf of whoever else might also feel that way. All right. So we will be back here next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.